How are you, by the way?
I'm okay. I just arrived in Vancouver, so it's my first morning here.
It's a different background for you. I'm used to like the white with everything else, and now
I
it looks
know.
like you've stolen away place. You've stolen some time away from the locker room, like you're not there. Here is like this space where they control the room.
Ooh.
But we're actually going to be doing what the hell happened last week, this week. What happened? But maybe you should rethink that. What the hell happened this week, that last week, or so on. But now I am forced to look at your screen, so there's going to be no more surprises than you did last time. I actually know that it's just going to be the two of us talking.
Oh.
I'm going to take you in, okay? So hang on a second.
Sure. All right.
Here's another. Oh, hey, Sandy.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I can't hear anything, but you look great. Love the hair.
Thanks.
All right, keep going.
Wow. Okay. Lots of people here.
Okay, so this is the control the room area. Everybody here.
Okay.
It's almost like I could do the networking for
Very
you.
full.
You just basically tell me who you want to talk to. Jay, he's holding an audience over there. Yeah.
Who is it?
Jay Malone. Jay Maloney.
Okay.
There. That's him. He doesn't know you. Oh, he recognizes you. Yeah. Oh, you know Sandy. There you go. I won't bother him because he's doing stuff. Let's see. Who else? Oh. You want to meet Johnny Stay? Yeah.
Sure.
And then
Hi.
No. It's Germany. Yeah. All right, you go ahead. You do what you're doing. I'm just saying. So you might as well make this entertaining, right? Let's see. I'm trying to see who else I recognize. Let's see. Chris Carter. I can go to the folks in Europe and see anything over there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
There you go. Put on speaker so you actually talk to him. Hang on.
there we go.
Hey. Oh.
This is how you attend conferences now.
Yes.
You have a chauffeur to drive
Yes,
you around.
this is the budget version of the conference.
So remote networking.
That's great.
I get a stipend for like a thanks to basically like bring everybody, Sandy's first, then there'll be other people.
Oh, that's awesome. You have a fan or two at Mural, just so you know. Although I saw some comments on another tool's thread that caused me to gasp,
Okay.
but all's fair and love and more.
Talking about that other company.
The artist formerly known as Real Time Board.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to us forever, just mention the app that shall not be named, and then we'll be in good places. Yeah.
We're just kidding. Anyone that embraces facilitation's okay.
Of course.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for saying hi. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Look forward to collaborating again at some point.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
What is that machine there?
Robert, why do you like pink phone? Oh, you're on phone.
Why do I think? All right. So,
Why do you like
Sandy, I'll do this.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this book called Think Rock. This one, right here,
Okay.
by a man named John Dielenberg, and I'll tell you all about it.
So, Robert, tell me about think and these lovely people here about think wrong. Why
Okay.
should we think wrong?
Why should think wrong?
Why should
So
we think
this is a book
wrong?
about counterculture and looking at things backwards. So there's wisdom in trying to find the optimized path on what you're supposed to be doing. And what this book basically posits is that what if you decided to go the opposite direction with an open mind, thinking that you probably will do the wrong thing, but you may learn something on the process. There's more learning and failure than anything else. So yeah, this is one I would say check out. Consider.
Sounds like an anti-perfectionism. That's what I was just gonna say. I need to buy that because I'm a perfectionist and I'm trying to let go.
A lot of this stuff is online too, so you can check this stuff. You can check this stuff out online. Who else is these here? like Lee Duncan from IBM. I just had to figure out what
Oh
he's
yeah.
doing. He's probably talking to somebody else. There's Daniel Stillman. He doesn't know me. Every time I try to talk to him, he has his face like,
Who's
hello,
this guy?
how are you? Yes, okay, good. Oh, they're gonna go this way. And that's been my reaction to Daniel Stillman. Just, that's all I'm talking about. Fine. Do you know Douglas Ferguson?
Kind of online, yeah. I've never really talked.
I can say,
I think.
I can. Let's see.
All right.
Who would have thought the podcast would have been like a actual on the scene room?
That was cool. So where exactly it is?
So this is in Austin, Texas. It's in a
Awesome. Okay.
place. It's in a place called the Capitol Factory. So I'll give you kind of a view. It's this tall,
Okay.
and it's multi floors, but usually it's the first floor. But yeah, it's a gigantic space. It's a huge space.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what is this event? It's mainly just about design sprint.
It's all about facilitators. So it's basically about the art of
Facilitator.
facilitation and different things that are related to that. So
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of where it is. It's got some really interesting speakers. In fact, there was Jay Malone. I mean, there was other people that I'm aware of. There's some authors that have their books here. I don't know the names. In fact, briefly, we'll go in and we will look at the list, and you can actually see the schedule. So here you go, right here.
All right. So it's like a 4-day thing.
Yep. Pretty much until 5:30 for the most part. But
Cool.
yeah, it's all day. Right now, everyone's eating. So I'm not eating. In fact, I don't think I've eaten so bad.
I guess we can start. What the hell happened last week? I turned 50, but I can't really, well, wait a minute. I don't think we've ever talked about when this starts. Like, it doesn't start on the Thursday after we get done? Or is it the Friday, or is it just
Well,
whenever?
I took it as whatever is really the answer, but I kind of took it more of the bracket like after the last time we talked until now. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So nothing's happened. No. There's been Control the Room. There's been this. So from my end, I mean, there's so many things that happened last week that are non-design sprint related. Like our president in the United States got acquitted yesterday by one of the bodies of branches of government, which was largely seen here in the States as being the death of checks and balances, which is pretty interesting considering that it was pretty blatant that the guy had broke the law. So there was that in politics. Let's see. In terms of things that were happening in the realm in our world that we deal with, there's been a lot of, like, Control the Room has been dominating my attention for a while, just because of everything, all the updates that have been happening. With the GVDS, I've been delaying the registration. It was supposed to happen on Monday, and I'm fiddling with the logo, which I know I shouldn't, but I just wanted to see if it would do a variation, because I had this idea around potentially doing what we had discussed last time and setting up some hubs or representatives in different countries that basically could do a local events that would benefit their business or benefit their brand. They wouldn't have to pay for like their attendee fee to do so, but they would be organizing something local that would be GVDS related. Make people aware of it, maybe meet them in person before they sign up, and potentially do some projects that are local to their area. So that in a way, it's meant to take someone out of the virtual realm, but put it in front of people so that there's somebody that actually says, okay, this is what it's all about. And I figure that there's some sort of incentive rather than saying you get a discount. So just, if you're gonna do that extra work, then just come on in and don't worry about the payment. Just, let people know about the event and see if it's something that interests them.
But what does it have to do with the logo?
Doesn't have to do anything with the logo. I skipped. No, the logo was, well, no, it does. So what Franzia and I are doing is, you know how there's the semi-transparent, like a view of the map, like all the different geographical parts? The idea that we had was if we were going to do like a GVDS Germany or a GVDS like Hong Kong or something that was local to a city, that transparent would actually be an outline of the area, or it could be like a symbol that corresponds to that, so that the logo reflected a dimension of the event that was customized to a locality. If that makes sense, right?
Okay.
Or something where it could be like a company logo. We don't know, but we're going to try variations out and see what makes sense. When we went back to the original, because the variations I did crap, they didn't really work very hardly at all. So we're gonna take things from the perspective of, okay, the original logo is still probably the best one, but let's do variations to see if there's any traction with people around doing something local to where they are, and not necessarily just saying, sign up your friends. This is more meaningful because, say, like Design Sprint Studio, I would love to drive traffic to Sabrina's business to let them have people more aware of what's going on, but using the GVDS as a vehicle to kind of open up that conversation, right? So that's not just the talent sprint that they're doing, but it's another dimension. It could be another way of finding network contacts, business leads, and so on. That's probably what's driving me more than anything else.
Okay, got it. Well, one thing that actually happened to both of us was the Design Sprint Mastery.
That's true. I forgot about that. So the Design Sprint Mastery, workshop, or not workshop, but session we did on Tuesday, correct?
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm all totally messed up after my flight. I don't even know what
we're completely doing the part of the show where we can't remember a damn thing that happened. Like, what the hell happened? Yeah, we'll say it's Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday. Yep, that's true. So that was basically looking at how each of us saw how we can be recognized for what we do and be in somewhere where it makes sense, and what kind of actions do you need to take to not only continue that impression that you're very well versed in what you do, but that you can it affords for continual learning and kind of documenting learning curves and things like that. So that produced a really interesting framework that, if nothing else, you could just say, okay, we're going to do Design Sprint Mastery now. Is it something that happens as a regular event? I think it's just a matter of trying something and seeing where it goes. I know that there's some people that are already at a level of mastery that in this virtual space where you could say, okay, if you were called upon to do a virtual sprint for 3 days for a company, you'd feel somewhat confident just basically put it together.
Right.
I think that's that maybe there's that Q&A to say, like, okay, where's your comfortability and where you need to be? And if people could feel comfortable with like 4 or 5 different dimensions that were outlined in that session, then I think we're in good shape. I think it's just a matter of following through.
Yeah. And I actually thought the result of that was quite interesting too, because like a lot of us didn't really see mastery just to be able to facilitate a virtual design sprint. Was also a lot of teaching was brought up, like how we can mentor others, how we could really pass on our knowledge. So yeah, I quite like that section.
So is it like what's happening here in the controlled room, where it is about facilitation, not necessarily virtual sprints? Because the focus was on virtual sprints for the discussion that happened on Tuesday, but what you're saying is that it took on different dimensions of how people do their work. So maybe virtual design sprinting is just one facet of several different things that somebody can do. It's like Suzanne Childers or Nora Scully are familiar with the process, but their bread and butter and where they really thrive is like in-person facilitation of doing those things. So yeah.
And I also thought that during the section we were also like bouncing the idea of like, are we really mastering the virtual design sprint or just the design sprint kind of thing? Like, because like that actually was 2 different skills to me. And yeah,
facilitation is one. The actual understanding the format and the framework is another. I still, the side of me that says you just have to basically try it to see what sticks is pretty much starting to take over my thought. Because I could stay here all day and think of like the dimensions of it like we did, but like the referral network, I mean, that went through 3 different design sprints. There's plenty of information there. It's just a matter of executing and putting time behind it. So that's really all I have to do. What's stopping me personally from doing it is like trying to get all of those awards out from November. Just odds and ends that kind of deviate from things. I just have to set some solid time to say, okay, I got to concentrate on this and get that done. Make that work. I've got a lot of white in my hair. It just amazes to me every single time that I see that, because people, when I meet them and control the room, they'll say that they know me from my LinkedIn profile. So when they see this, they're like, hey! So they go, the eyes go from the eye and they go to the hair and they go to the eyes like that. It registers really fast with them. I don't mind it. It's just, I realize it's like, yeah, I'm this close. If I was somebody who was really concerned about my hair color, I'd be this close to dyeing it, but.
That's the whole reason why I dye my hair blue.
You're saying you're in your mid 50s. Is that what you're trying to communicate?
No, but I have gray hairs.
Well, come on now. I got them in stock. You have them on order. There's a difference. It's not the same thing. It's like, yeah, I can relate. I got 1 or 2 that I'm covering up with neon blue. It's okay. You don't need to relate, Sandy. It's one of those things where you really shouldn't relate and just go, my hair gets confused. It really doesn't need to grow gray hair. It's just
a lot of people actually dye them the whole hair gray too, so it's just a new style.
No, yeah, new style. A new style in and of itself. I mean, I could paint my shoes red and that could be a style, but it's going to be unique probably to me if I really want red shoes. But, anything else that happened last week of note? Trying to think of. Oh, Jonathan. There was an announcement today by AJ and Smart about Jonathan being the person that's going to be facilitating a in-person workshop in March in Germany. I think it was. Did you catch that?
No.
There was a promotion from AJ and Smart saying that he was going to be the person that does the facilitating now. And the only thing I could think of when I saw, because they've been building it up for the past 2 or 3 days. The only thing I could think of was like, where's Dee? Where's Dee? Dee did this. What? No. Where'd you go? And nobody knows where she went. The last thing that people know is that she went on an Oregon cycle trip to California. She disappeared. Nobody knows. So, yeah, more power to them. They think that's something that people want. But it was interesting to see that.
Yeah, I think he hasn't really facilitated any design sprint for a while. Maybe he occasionally goes in 1 or 2, but I think most of the time Adrian Smart, like all the design sprint they do there is facilitated by the team, not really him.
Yeah, they usually have a dedicated group that kind of does that.
Yeah,
it's curious. It's a curious thing. One thing that's going to be happening here at Control the Room is that Lee and his partner are going to be doing cyber physical design sprints. They're going to be presenting on that towards the end. So that's something I'm keen to kind of check out and see what.
Oh yeah, I saw that on LinkedIn, and I didn't know about this control room thing. I said I need to be there. I'm so interested in the topic, and and then he said, let's just have a one-on-one. It's going to be in Austin.
Yeah, see that you schedule it now, and you see. That's the thing about you, Sandy, is that you don't really aren't overt in terms of like what your plans are, but one way or another, you figure it out. It's like, okay, now if I could plan and scheme and do this and do this and got this and do this, and look what happened. Now you are actually able to go to Control the Room and see people through a phone and never have to leave the house.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah. Didn't see Lee there though, but yeah.
Yeah, I actually see Lee through the glass now because I can see from my vantage point everybody over at the Capitol Factory kind of assembling again, because I think they're going to be doing they're going to be going into the new session.
Okay.
We can, I don't know, but I could stare through people through the wall, but it would make them feel really conscious, I think. Yeah. Listen to me serious. We're sitting out here and we're just putting the phone there, so it's like, okay, you didn't pay your money, Sandy, but you could just sit there and you could watch things. You could see Daniel Stillman, not hear him, but then watch everybody and just see.
Put my phone, like take a seat, and then put my phone like right on the seat.
Yeah, no, I'm just, I could do that. Let's do that. Right now, I'm just trying to see if anybody's paying attention to the glass and they're not.
No.
I wonder.
nobody
Yeah, I
is
wonder if I
even-
put my forehead to the glass like this, if people will actually like stop and stare.
No,
Especially if I stay in one place. No, no, then I ain't paid.
nobody is reacting. Nobody is reacting to it. Oh, hey!
Well, I was corrected,
One
right?
person.
Yes. Well, if it's Haley, then it makes sense, right? One of the most positive people we know. So, how about this? We can end the podcast. I'll go in, and you can actually listen to Daniel Stillman a little bit. Should I walk right in front of him and just put the phone right in front of him to see how he reacts? Let's do that.
We're like crashing everything.
Oh yeah, we're gonna crash it. Yeah, just see, right when he starts. Maybe I can do it while he's getting everything together.
They're on the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's like
Oh no, Dan, no,
you almost
no,
go
this
out
is
of your
speaking. I
way
can't do it.
to derail things, and then it just magically works. And when you find those people, it's important to keep them close to the ear. And for me, Daniel Stillman is one of those individuals. And I wonder if he's like that with everyone, because he's just amazing. And so,
Yeah.
Daniel,
I started.
facilitation hat.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, people think that I'm actually screwing to take a class of marketing. You just record it. Okay, so I'll sign off. Staff of Douglas. Well, we do a podcast about what the hell happened last week. So this is we decided to record while I'm here, so she can meet other people like you. How was everybody doing? Yeah. Okay.
And she's a Harvard-trained theater
I don't really hear
for
him.
couples to have one of the most important conversations. Who's holding the cards, right? We can't have gender equality in the world until we have at least the conversation about gender equality.
All right, Sadie,
So
we're
there
gonna
should
sign
be a
off.
50-50, but we have dialogue
So
about, here's
see
all
you
the
later.
cards.